Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate how to not start an idea and how not to finish it as a creative person who wants to achieve a goal. So, first, we're going to start with a very, very broad idea. So, our idea is going to be launch a podcast, right? And since we're cool, we're going to do this in 6 weeks. Cool. So we have an idea. Let's launch a podcast in 6 weeks. So we're going to be excited about launching the podcast. We're going to be thinking about that a lot. Maybe even fantasize how it'll look when it's done. But you don't write anything down and you don't really commit to an outcome. So this lets us feel busy. This makes us do nothing. This promotes the idea just staying in our head. Launching a podcast in 6 weeks. So to move on to the next step, to launching our podcast, we're going to research. And how we're going to do this is by binge watching YouTube. We can watch a lot of tutorials, try to research, I guess. That's a very clear goal we have for launch an idea, because that's what people do. So, and by doing this, we tell ourselves that we're productive. So, let's say 2 weeks pass. Cool. 2 weeks pass. Cool. Now we're in week 3. We have a bunch of information and we have a bunch of wasted money because we watched some YouTube guys say that we need this course and we're not even going to use the information. So we're down on money and we're overloaded with information. Cool. So then we're going to buy a microphone. And let's say we're just gonna use our iPhone. Cool. We're kind of saving on money, but we're still down on money. And that's really what we want, right? We're launching a podcast. That's what I have to do. I need to buy a mic. I need to overload myself on info. I need to binge watch YouTube. This is a great process on how to start an idea, right? So let's say after we bought our mic, we record a video. So, and this video is going to be rough because we have no experience and we haven't been doing anything besides watching YouTube for 2 weeks. So we bought a mic, we recorded the video, we're making progress, right? So all that time that you're binge watching YouTube, the progress that you didn't make is going to start hunting you. So you're going to start self-doubting, right? Cool. So our idea of launching a podcast in 6 weeks is really going great, isn't it? So we started, right? So we started at week 3, and now we don't have any content stored up, nothing like that. So we're going to stop after 3 days. So we've just wasted 2 weeks plus a third week we're starting. We made 1 video and we stopped after 3 days. This is a very clear goal on how to go from idea to actually finishing our goal, right? So then we start to avoid for days, and then those days turn into weeks. Now we're at week 5. Oops. So what then starts to happen is that you keep the self-doubt attitude, and then you start to say, maybe I'll do it later, and you keep doing this over and over. You keep this loop going over and over. You self-doubt, you start after 3 days, avoid for days, that turns into weeks, and now you're at the end of your 6-week process, right? So after that, you'll get to week 5, then it's going to go to week 6, and you're going to have absolutely nothing to show for it. So how my 6-week system recreates that, we hone in on our ideas and we break them down into better ideas. So instead of launching a podcast, we're going to say launch our first 3 episodes. Launch first 3. Cool. Launch our first 3 episodes. So instead of researching, we're going to start at week 1, right? Week 1. Cool. On week 1, we get to clarify and commit. So clarify plus so we have clarified that we want to launch our first 3 episodes, and then now we have to have a date for that. So by 6 weeks. Cool. So we've done that for our first week. We've got our more honed in idea. Rather than the broad just launch a podcast, we're launching our first 3 episodes. That's very doable. So week 1, we clarified, and we're going to commit. So now we move on to week 2. The first week is just getting clear on we really want to do this and we really want to have this deadline. So week 2 is to blueprint. So at my 6-week system, I actually have a map out that you can use to actually blueprint this idea to an actionable step plan. So, and then step by step action map. Cool. So now we have an idea and we actually are going to plan and blueprint our step-by-step action map. This will cut out all of the unnecessary research, all of the unnecessary overloading on resources and information that you don't need. So, and then with doing this, this builds momentum instead of giving us self-doubt, right? That we had in week 3. So our momentum is up. And we're celebrating small wins. Plus, celebrate small wins. Cool. And then this even loops into itself. So you celebrating small wins gives you momentum, and your momentum allows you to celebrate small wins. So now we need to stopping after 3 days and avoiding for days and weeks and weeks. So for week 3, is an action trigger map. So this is where we plan out our day instead of our lives just being busy. We can always make time for something. Everybody wastes time doing something every day. So this will build habits. So we're up on habits. And this is also, we're going to stop relying on motivation because we actually have a blueprint and a step-by-step action map. Cool. So progress is going to happen regardless of if we feel motivation. And you should be motivated because your momentum is going to be up and you're going to be celebrating small wins. So then we reach week 4, right? 4. And this is going to be our mid-sprint reset. So you expect to lose momentum. So your momentum might be down. And we're still going to be celebrating small wins, so maybe our momentum is not down as much as it would be if we just wasted money on buying a microphone and not being able to finish launching our podcast within 6 weeks. So this is where we review and align with our strategy. So, all we have to do for this week is just to remember that we are clear that we want to launch our first 3 episodes by 6 weeks. And we've already made a commitment because we've already done blueprinting and planning for the second week to get through our 6 weeks. So we still should be up on momentum and celebrating small wins. Even if our momentum is a little bit lower, we should still be going up in our momentum. And we should still be celebrating small wins because we've done something. So, this gives us the opportunity to review what's not working for us, and realign and get back on track. So that's what week 4 does for us. So, and instead of week 5 doing nothing, we're going to push through our resistances. So, week 5, push through. So, here in my 6-week system, I actually have a community. Oops. Cool. We have a community to enable us to push through. We have resources, audio bits, audio to allow us to push through. We also have a one-on-one call to enable us to push through or help us align with our goals or to help us review. So all of these weeks, we're going to be pushing through this 6 weeks, and we're going to actually be able to launch our first 3 episodes by 6 weeks. So for week 6, we're just going to publish what we have. So cool. Week 6, we've published our first 3 episodes because we have a step-by-step action map and a blueprint to get through all of these weeks in order for us to be able to publish. So, and then now that we have published it, we are able to reflect on that. Cool. So now, since we've finished all 6 weeks, we can actually go back to week 1 instead of launching the first 3, so we're going to launch the next 3. So we've already done that in 6 weeks to launch our first one. So we should be able to repeat the same strategy to be able to reach our next 3 episodes. And that is why I recommend you filling in one of the 3 free slots of my 6-week program that will help you do all of this and get your creative goals into reality. There are 15 slots available. If you want to secure a slot, go ahead and click the link in the description. Use code CREATENOW for 20% off of the course, and you will get a one-on-one free call. You are invited to my community, which I will be doing weekly calls, and we're going to be going over every single step for everybody. And we're going to be helping people launch their ideas and reach their goals this year. So if you're really in tune with that and you would like to reach your goals and get through this process yourself, it's completely free. I have 3 free slots open, so I'm not really popular right now, so not many people are probably filling in those spots. But as this video does go more viral, there will be less and less slots to fill in. So go ahead and head over to the links in the description. The first one is going to be able to enter in one of the free 3 slots. But if you want to confirm your slot and get it out of the way without waiting on if you're going to know if you're one of the free selected, go ahead and purchase the course and all of the bonus benefits, the community, the free one-on-one calls, the weekly sessions, the audio bits that I have, all of the tools and resources that I have. Go ahead and click the second link and purchase that directly, 20% off. Use code CREATENOW and I will help you get your goals to reality. Thank you guys so much for watching.